Hello everyone, my name is Raymond and welcome to my first video ever on my real estate journey that I'm going to be sharing about. Today's topic would be on how does one become a real estate negotiator in Malaysia. So one thing I want to point out is that there is actually a common misconception or the term property or real estate agent, right, is actually used quite loosely. Within the industry itself, right, there's actually a difference. Most of the people you meet in the industry, they are actually real estate negotiators. Whereas real estate agents, right, is actually, I'll say, a step above real estate negotiators. And the difference is that they actually need to go through 2 years of studies and then another 2 years of practicals before they can actually be real estate agents. The difference is that real estate agents, right, they can set up their own agencies and then, hire the real estate negotiators. Whereas the real estate negotiators themselves, right, they must be attached to a real estate agency before they are allowed to conduct, transactions, be it rental or sales. But for simplicity's sake, for the publics, you guys just refers to agents or whatever lah. It's up to you guys. Today, right, how do we become a real estate negotiator? I will say the process is quite simple and straightforward, but there are few requirements. So firstly is that, of course, we need to be Malaysians or PR, permanent residents of Malaysia. Secondly, 18 years of age at least. And then also the third one will be that we need to be attached to a registered real estate agency itself. And then fourth will be we need to pass our SPM. That's very important. And lastly, we cannot be declared bankrupt. These are the few key requirements that we need to pass. Once we've gone through that, I actually fulfilled all the requirements. What's next? The first thing that we need to do is that we need to attend a course, a 2 days course called Negotiator Certification course. So this is a 2 days course itself that is roughly about, if I'm not wrong, 648 ringgit, okay, for a 2 days course. And then at the end of this 2 days course, right, there is actually an exam that you need to pass as well before you are officially, complete this 2 days course. This exam was introduced, if I'm not wrong, at the mid of last year, and I would say that it's actually a good step towards making this whole industry more regulated and also like improving the standards also of the real estate negotiators and agents itself. And second thing, once you've done that, the second thing that you must do, so the second thing, you can either do it before the 2 days course or after, it's fine, but it's a must to do, which is that you need to be hired by a real estate agency. So for me, myself, I'm attached to the agency IQI. Of course, there's a lot of different agencies outside there as well that you can actually go and, talk to them or what, and then joining the agency. And so once all this is done, right, when you join the agency, right, then what's going to happen is that the agency will tell the board, that, look, Raymond is now with us already. He's officially in IQI. Then we'll need your site to help. He has also passed, the 2 days course. We will need your site to actually issue the REN tag, okay, REN, the real estate negotiator tag or ID, to him, so that I can conduct all the transaction legally. So once the tag, I think it'll take around 3 weeks to about a month before we get the tag, and then that's when you are now an official real estate negotiator already. So just next, I just want to share a bit on, people are curious, right? How do we know which agency it is that we should join? Personally, for me, right, I actually search and then also call up a few and met up a few as well of these agencies. There's not too many to me. I think I shortlisted about 4, and some of it, again, I call, some of it I went and actually meet face to face just to understand how does the agencies operate. Typically, I already know that this journey is not going to be easy. Let's not lie to ourselves that, wow, it's so easy, earn big money and stuff. I know the journey is hard. But having a supportive team, right, I think that's very important. That's why I went and looked for all these different agencies, just try to understand what kind of support do they give and all that. To me, it's not about how big or how small the agency. It doesn't matter. Sometimes the agency is too big, right? You might not get the focus that you need. Sometimes the agency is too small. You might be worried that they won't be able to survive long. There's a lot of things that you need to take into account, but most important is that you have a team leader or what that is actually open to actually helping you to succeed. That is the most important thing. And one thing that I realized is that when I went to all these agencies, right, typically within the agency, they have a different focus on. So one team, they might focus on only on sub sales or rental, and then another team will only focus on project side of thing, which means that projects as in like those properties that will be completed within 3 to 4 years time. So those are what we call projects. That is the information that you need to have to get before you decide. So what do you want to do? Again, it doesn't mean that once you have chosen one, right? Let's say you want to start a project, then you can't switch to subsale. You can also, of course, internally. Then that is a different story, really. So you have chosen it, then it's fine. So as long as you understand what I'm saying is that whichever agency that you join, it really doesn't matter. The most important is that you actually find a leader who is willing to actually guide you along the way. I think that's the most important thing. And thirdly is, of course, very important is that in terms of commission structure and all that, real estate negotiators, you guys are not paid on. There's no basic salary and all that. How is the commission structure like? Is for my case, and I believe it's quite similar to a lot of other agencies as well. If you are doing sub sales, right, then there is a profit sharing. Profit sharing scheme, as in you might start with a 60-40 share, as in 60% goes to the negotiator itself, and then the balance 40 will go to the agency. This is for sub sales, secondary market, and also for rentals. Along the way, once your commission, right, you accumulate a certain amount, and then you reach higher and higher. So I believe that the highest you can go is somewhere around 90%. So 90% goes to you at that point of time, and then the balance 10% will go to agency. I think it's quite fair because they would help out with all the paperwork and stuff like that. Your job is really just to focus on the selling part of things. And then whereas for projects, right? Projects typically, I will say there's no profit sharing in the sense that typically projects is around, the commission is around 2 to 3% usually. So if it's 2%, let's say you sold a 500,000 ringgit worth of property, then 2% will be 10,000 ringgit. This 10,000 ringgit is directly to you. There is no profit sharing and all that. One thing I realized is that typically agencies, right, they better cut. So they negotiate with the developers, and then they already have a certain amount of cut before they tell you that for this project you'll be getting 2%, but maybe they have already other percentage. Those they've negotiated with already. Those are the difference when it comes to sub sales commission and also project commission that you need to be aware of. And then you realize that that's why so many people are doing projects now, because there's no profit sharing out there. Everything is a clear cut. But you know what? You can always listen to my next video where I'm going to be sharing about, is it really so easy for the real estate negotiators to make big money? I'm talking about newbies. Is it so easy for them to make money in this industry? But anyway, you know what? Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope that whatever I've shared would be helpful to you. And if you feel that whatever I shared is good enough or helpful to you, and you would like to listen to more, remember to subscribe and also like my video. Thank you so much. Take care, guys.